Now, a strange discovery in a recent NASA photo has some saying these visitors haven't just been observing Earth.
Responsible for the civil space program, NASA has since led most of America's space exploration. Its science division is focused on better understanding Earth, which has intrigued humans till date. But recently, NASA has been involved in activities they feared would eventually come to light. Now, shocking leaks are exposing deep, hidden truths about what's really happening in space. What is NASA hiding from us? And what has really been going on in the depths of space? Join us as we unveil the 20 worst secret NASA photos leaked. Number 20. Mystery bases on the Moon. In the thrilling race to the Moon, the United States launched 6 Apollo missions. Apollo 11 is famous for Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin's historic landing. However, leaked photos show that the astronauts discovered more than what NASA has ever told us during these missions. One astronaut took some intriguing pictures. These photos ended up in the hands of Ken Johnston, a former NASA contractor. The images revealed a mysterious dome-like structure on the Moon, connected by smaller domes. This strange formation doesn't look natural and suggests that a secret space station might have been on the Moon before the Apollo mission even landed. The picture was taken by chance, as the structure was mostly hidden in darkness. The area it was found in didn't seem natural at all. To many, the image hints at something extraordinary that can't be ignored or easily explained away. Ken Johnston grew more suspicious when the program director brushed off the images. When he was told not to share them with anyone, Ken knew he was onto something big. The secrecy only confirmed his belief that there was more to the Moon missions than the world was led to believe. NASA isn't just keeping secrets about what's happening on the Moon. It's also hiding crucial details about what's really going on here on Earth. What other details are hidden about the Earth? And how are they related to what we know about science? Number 19. Strange object hovering over military base. Even though several videos and pictures that show that we are not alone on the planet have leaked, the space agency has remained tight-lipped. On April 20, 2021, something extraordinary happened at a military base in Camp Wilson, 29 Palms, California. 6 cameras captured the event, and 50 U.S. Marines witnessed it in vivid detail. How do you explain such clear and undeniable proof that something mysterious is out there? Among the footage, the most convincing image was taken by an officer. It showed a UFO, an unmistakable triangular object with bright lights on its edges, hovering above the desert mountains. Witnesses reported that the strange sight lasted for 10 minutes, between 8:24 and 8:30 p.m. that evening. The dark, triangle-shaped object moved slowly across the sky. At 8:29 p.m., one video captured personnel shooting a flare into the sky to better illuminate the object. The flare revealed 5 red lights spreading out from the UFO. The sheer size of the object made it impossible to miss. Number 18. Foreign presence on Mars. A stunning new image has turned the world of space science upside down. Even the most skeptical scientists now find it hard to ignore the possibility that the strange circular and pointed object seen on Mars might be debris from an extraterrestrial crash site. This startling image came from Mars missions in 2022, captured by NASA's Mars rover Curiosity on Sol 110. The picture shows a semicircular shape buried in sediment. This shape looks suspiciously like the side of a spacecraft, similar to those reported on Earth time and again. But that's not all. The image also shows narrow protrusions sticking out of the Martian ground. These strange formations appear to be rows of spikes, plates, and wedges jutting out from the rocks in the vast 96-mile Gale crater recorded by the Curiosity rover. These bizarre structures add even more mystery to the possibility of a crashed alien spacecraft on Mars. The main reason for crashes in environments like this is usually technical problems. So what happens when NASA sends astronauts out with faulty equipment? Number 17. Bad space equipment. While everyone remembers Neil Armstrong and his famous words on the Moon, not many can recall the last man to set foot on the lunar surface or what he said. That man was Commander Gene Cernan, and during his mission, something unexpected happened. For this sole reason, NASA refused to give him the same publicity as Neil. Cernan accidentally broke a frame on the lunar rover, a small but crucial piece. That fender was meant to protect him and his fellow astronaut Harrison Schmitt from the thick lunar dust that the rover would kick up. Without it, they were in trouble. The dust wasn't just a nuisance, it covered their suits, solar panels, and radiators, threatening to overheat the equipment. It became a big problem. Apollo 17 was all about driving on the moon, and with the broken fender, Cernan couldn't help but worry. He barely slept that night, wondering if the mission might be in jeopardy. But Schmitt remained hopeful, reminding him that Mission Control would find a way to fix it. And they did. With a laminated map and some duct tape, the astronauts crafted a makeshift guard. The mission was saved. What makes this story even more incredible is that the same thing happened on Apollo 16 and Apollo 15. It seemed like a problem NASA could not fix, but for some reason kept on sending astronauts to the moon in these below-standard rovers. Despite the challenges, Cernan and Schmitt returned home safely. But what did they leave behind? Number 16, the face on Mars. The Mars rover continues its exciting journey across the planet, landing in new areas as part of its research mission. But what it keeps finding is beyond ordinary rocks. It's uncovering mysteries that leave us eager for more. One of the most intriguing places it explored is Cydonia, a region stretching about 2 miles long. This area has sparked both scientific curiosity and wild imagination. And recently, that interest exploded with a new image sent back from space, capturing something truly remarkable. Between two large craters, Arandis and Bamberg, something strange appeared in one of the photos. It looked shockingly like a human face carved into the Martian surface. This eerie sight quickly became known as the face on Mars. It was originally spotted in an image taken by the Viking 1 spacecraft on July 25, 1976. The face sat on a 1.2-mile-long mesa, standing out at a latitude of 40.75 degrees north and a longitude of 9.46 degrees west. Though NASA initially dismissed it as just a trick of the light, the mysterious image captivated everyone who saw it. Then came the second surprise. Another image, labeled 070A13, showed not a face but a similarly shaped formation, deepening the mystery. This discovery wasn't made by NASA scientists, but by two computer engineers, Vincent DiPietro and Gregory Molinar, who were searching through NASA's archives. What they found seemed to hint at something more hidden beneath the surface of Mars, waiting to be uncovered. Could these strange formations be mere coincidences? Or are they clues to an ancient mystery on the red planet? Number 15. Man-made structure on Mars. On February 25, 2014, something remarkable happened. It had been 554 days since the Mars Curiosity rover landed on the red planet. That day, it sent back new high-resolution photos of the Martian landscape. When people on Earth looked at the pictures, they noticed something strange. Amateur archaeologists spotted what looked like a human statue near a place called Dingo Gap. This discovery was just one of many curious objects that seemed to resemble things we know from Earth, like a sarcophagus, a Buddha statue, and even a cross. People began to wonder if Mars might have had an ancient civilization. The objects looked so much like sculptures that it was hard to dismiss them. Some even believed that after a massive disaster on Mars, these were the last remaining signs of a lost civilization. Joe White, an imaging expert with 25 years of experience, thinks there's more to these images. He claims to have found artifacts on Mars that are difficult to explain. The rover's photos taken up close reveal things that resemble statue heads, stone blocks, and even carvings. White believes that NASA reduces the image quality, making it harder to see these details. Using his skills in photo restoration, he enhanced the pictures, bringing out features like eyes, noses, and mouths on what appeared to be statues. One statue had a long, cone-shaped head, which could have been a broken headdress. White speculates that more of these statues might be buried under the sand. They believe that some of these artifacts may even have counterparts on Earth. Mars seems to have pyramids, standing stones, and structures that look like Stonehenge or the Sphinx. Could the structures on Mars be real and man-made? While most scientists say it's impossible, history has taught us not to rule out the unexpected. At one time, water on Mars was also considered impossible, but now we know it exists. So we are left to wonder, if these structures are real, who built them? And what happened to their civilization? Number 14. Nikola Tesla's alien signal. In July 1899 in Colorado Springs, Nikola Tesla was testing a powerful transmitter designed to track storms. It was an ordinary night of scientific research, but then something strange happened. While listening to thunderstorms hundreds of miles away, Tesla suddenly heard a series of beeps. There were 3 beats repeating in a perfect mathematical sequence. It didn't sound like anything natural. Tesla was baffled. The more Tesla thought about it, the more convinced he became that these signals weren't from Earth. He started to wonder if they came from outer space, perhaps even from Mars. Mars, which comes close to Earth every 1.8 years, seemed like a plausible source. Tesla believed that during one of these close encounters, he had picked up signals from the red planet itself. In 1901, Tesla publicly shared his belief in extraterrestrial life in an article for Collier's Weekly titled "Talking with the Planets." He became obsessed with the idea of communicating with beings from other worlds. Based on these mysterious transmissions, Tesla developed a theory. An alien presence had been influencing Earth for centuries, possibly controlling humanity from the very beginning. Some people believed that these signals helped Tesla invent his incredible devices, suggesting he had direct contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. But this bold idea wasn't well received by his peers. Many thought Tesla had gone mad, especially after he had publicized his attempts to contact Mars. In Serbia, the Nikola Tesla Museum holds over 160,000 documents offering rare glimpses into Tesla's mind. Among these are drawings that some believe depict spaceships, possibly powered by anti-gravity. Tesla had theorized that electricity could create lift, and throughout the 1920s and 30s, he talked about building flying machines that didn't need wings or fuel, powered by the energy from his Wardenclyffe towers. Even though many of the inventions we rely on today are thanks to Nikola Tesla, space organizations, especially NASA, still dismiss his claims as a hoax. They seem set on disproving his alien theories, even if it means putting others at risk. Number 13. More system malfunctions. Chris Hadfield, one of the most famous astronauts, had a nail-biting experience on his first spaceflight. He and his crew had to guide a 4 million-pound shuttle to dock at the Mir space station. The stakes were incredibly high, and the tension was palpable. Chris's job was crucial, as he had to watch and relay the shuttle's speed and distance to the pilot. Timing and precision were everything. A slight mistake could mean disaster. If they approached too softly, the shuttle would bounce off Mir too hard, and they could break the station in half, putting the lives of the 3 astronauts on board at risk. As they approached within 30 feet, the sensors started giving conflicting readings. One said they were 32 feet away, the other said 20. With no time to ask for help, Chris had only seconds to solve the problem. Staying calm, he went back to basics. Using his thumb and the shuttle window, he eyeballed the distance and figured out they were 21 feet away. He timed the thrusters perfectly, guiding the shuttle to a smooth docking. NASA decided to keep the news of this near-death experience a secret to cover up the fact that its shuttle had malfunctioned. The agency didn't want the world to know how close the mission had come to disaster. By keeping it quiet, NASA hoped to protect its reputation and avoid public panic, brushing the terrifying moments under the rug as if they had never happened, just as they tried doing for the next leak. Number 12. Non-human footprints on the Moon. There have been 6 incredible space missions to the Moon, ending with Apollo 17. During these missions, 12 astronauts walked on the Moon's surface, leaving 12 sets of footprints. However, what they discovered left them puzzled with another set of footprints that didn't belong to any of them. Scientists are still scratching their heads over this mystery. Harrison Schmitt, one of the last astronauts to walk on the Moon, was amazed when nearly 40 years later, NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter sent back stunningly clear images of the Moon. To everyone's surprise, these images showed a set of footprints 30 meters away from their landing site. This unexpected discovery has left many wondering if there's more to space than we thought. Number 11. The City of God. In 1994, the Hubble telescope took a jaw-dropping photo from space that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The image, though blurry, hinted at something truly extraordinary, a gigantic city located at the center of the galaxy. This mysterious city was quickly given the name God's Heaven. The discovery was so astonishing that it rattled the very core of scientific understanding. The US government, fearing the implications, moved swiftly to keep the images hidden, blocking NASA scientists from sharing them with the public. But secrets have a way of slipping out. In 1995, a German scientific journal bravely published the incredible images, revealing to the world what NASA had tried so hard to keep under wraps. Number 10. A lost document from 1959. A lost document from 1959 sheds light on a dark period in US military history. This document, titled Project Horizon, reveals a daring and secret plan the United States once had to colonize the moon. This wasn't just about exploration. It was an attempt to seize the moon as if it were a territory waiting to be conquered. The story of Project Horizon begins at the height of the Cold War. Tensions were high, and the US was in fierce competition with the Soviet Union. The Soviets had stunned the world with their achievements in space, and the United States couldn't bear the thought of losing the race to the moon, especially to its biggest enemy. The first country to establish a base on the moon would wield enormous power militarily, scientifically, and politically. The US was determined to be that country. Project Horizon was the most audacious military proposal since the Second World War. The US Army envisioned a manned military outpost on the moon, a base that would monitor Earth, conduct military operations, and serve as a launch pad for future space missions. The moon was not just a scientific curiosity, but a new frontier in the quest for dominance. But the risks were high. To pull off such an ambitious project, the US needed cutting-edge technology like rockets capable of carrying people and heavy cargo, vehicles that could navigate the moon's rugged terrain, and advanced survival equipment. But building such technology wasn't easy, and the US turned to a controversial source for help. Despite the amazing vision of a lunar base, President Dwight D. Eisenhower ultimately deemed Project Horizon too expensive. With an estimated cost of $6 billion at the time, roughly $53.5 billion today, the project was simply too much for a country already engaged in the Vietnam War. As ambitious as the plan was, it was never meant to be. But what if the Soviet Union had landed on the moon before the United States and started building their own military base? Moving forward, the United States launched 6 Apollo missions, famously culminating in Apollo 11's historic landing by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. But leaked photos suggest the astronauts discovered more than NASA told us during these missions. An astronaut captured some intriguing photos, and these photos ended up in the hands of Ken Johnston, a former NASA contractor. The images revealed a mysterious dome-like structure on the moon, connected by smaller domes. This strange formation doesn't appear natural, and suggests there may have been a secret space station on the moon before the Apollo mission landed. The photo was taken by chance because the structure was mostly hidden in darkness. The area it was located in didn't seem natural to many. The image points to something extraordinary that can't be ignored or easily explained. Number 9. Alien presence on Mars. An extraordinary new image has rocked the world of space science. Even the most skeptical scientists are now finding it hard to ignore the possibility that the strange, circular, and spiky objects seen on Mars could be debris from an extraterrestrial crash site. This startling image came from the 2022 Mars missions, captured by NASA's Mars rover Curiosity on its 110th day. The picture shows a semicircular shape embedded in the sediment. This shape bears a suspicious resemblance to the side of a spacecraft, similar to those reported numerous times on Earth. But that's not all. The image also shows narrow protrusions sticking out of the Martian soil. These strange formations appear to be rows of spikes, plates, and wedges protruding from the rocks in the vast 96-mile Gale crater recorded by the Curiosity rover. These bizarre structures add even more mystery to the possibility of a crashed spacecraft on Mars. The main reason for crashes in such environments is usually technical problems. So what happens when NASA sends astronauts out with faulty space equipment? While everyone remembers Neil Armstrong and his famous words on the moon, few may remember the last man to walk on the lunar surface or what he said. That man was Commander Gene Cernan, and during his mission, something unexpected happened, and for that reason alone, NASA refused to give him the same publicity as Neil. Cernan accidentally broke a fender off the lunar rover. This small but crucial part was designed to protect him and fellow astronaut Harrison Schmitt from the thick lunar dust the rover would kick up. Without it, they were in trouble. The dust wasn't just a nuisance, it also caused the equipment to overheat, coating their suits, solar panels, and radiators. It became a major problem. Apollo 17 was all about driving on the moon, and with the broken fender, Cernan couldn't help but worry. That night, he barely slept, wondering if the mission was in jeopardy. But Schmitt remained hopeful, reminding him that Mission Control would find a way to fix it, and they did. With a laminated map and some duct tape, the astronauts fashioned a makeshift fender. The mission was saved. It seemed like a problem that NASA couldn't fix, but for some reason, they kept sending astronauts to the moon with these subpar rovers. Although NASA officially stopped sending astronauts to the moon, its equipment remained scattered across the lunar surface, from broken rovers to flagpoles left behind. There have been plenty of questions about what might be happening on the moon right now. Could some of NASA's old equipment have been salvaged by someone else? Or could we have company up there? Number 8. The Atlantis mission. The latest strange incident came from the Atlantis space mission. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until something unexpected happened on its way back. As the shuttle was preparing to land, NASA's Kennedy Space Center received urgent news. A mysterious object was seen moving toward the shuttle's thrusters. The situation grew even more puzzling. Before any decisions could be made or plans altered, 4 more objects appeared, forming a triangular shape in the sky. The images of these objects were too blurry to identify, leaving everyone baffled and curious. NASA's only explanation was that it was space debris, but the mystery remains unsolved. Number 7. Hollow Moon. In 1969, the Apollo mission left a flurry of amazing urban legends about our moon. The mission went smoothly, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. However, things took a mysterious turn when astronauts Pete Conrad and Alan Bean set up a special experiment at their landing site. This experiment was part of a larger project called the Apollo Lunar Surface Experiment Package. The plan was for the lunar module to crash onto the moon's surface after the astronauts returned to the command module. This crash triggered the first ever man-made moonquake. The seismometers they had set up recorded the vibrations, which were surprisingly strong and lasted much longer than expected. But the real shock came from the sound of the crash. It was scarily hollow, like 2 tin cans clanging together. The moon seemed to ring like a bell for a whole hour. This unusual event was so intriguing that it inspired the hollow moon theory, which proposes that the moon might be hollow. Number 6. Moon music. For years, what happened to the Apollo 10 crew was kept secret by NASA, but everything changed in 2008 when the mission transcripts were finally revealed. The mission had been going well until the shuttle reached the far side of the moon, where it lost contact with Mission Control. This period of radio silence passed without any reported issues, at least from NASA's side. There were no comments on anything unusual until recently. It turns out that as the crew moved across the moon's dark side, they experienced something extraordinary. They heard what can only be described as a strange musical festival coming from the moon. The sounds were eerily melodic and shouldn't have been possible in the moon's airless environment. Even now, this mysterious event remains a scary occurrence, while NASA has remained strangely quiet about it. Number 5. The Sun had a twin. Far out beyond Neptune, in the distant reaches of our solar system, lies a mysterious sphere of dark, icy debris known as the Oort cloud. This massive cloud of space dust and asteroids is puzzling because it seems to defy the gravitational forces that should have pulled it into the Sun. Scientists have come to a fascinating conclusion that this debris field might be influenced by a hidden gravitational force from another star, which we cannot see. The theory suggests that our Sun might have once had a long-lost twin, affectionately called Nemesis. According to this idea, the 2 suns once moved through space together, gathering debris from the surrounding regions. But millions of years ago, Nemesis drifted away from our sun, each star going its separate way. Every 26 to 27 million years, Nemesis is thought to make a close pass by our solar system, causing gravitational disturbances that send comets hurtling toward us. Some believe that Nemesis was responsible for the comet that collided with Earth, leading to the mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs. Despite the compelling evidence, NASA remains doubtful, relying only on what can be directly observed. This skepticism persists even as reports of strange sightings continue to pour in. The original recordings of the first moon landing were so controversial that NASA secretly deleted them so the images are not as close to the leaked photos. People noticed, but NASA denied it for years. It wasn't until 40 years later that they admitted the tapes were erased and reused. They claimed to have restored the footage, releasing clearer digital versions. Do you believe the tapes were erased just because they were blurry? Share your thoughts below. Number 4. NASA's secret mission in Africa. Something mysterious is unfolding over South Africa's Western Cape. Recently, NASA's advanced aircraft was seen on an airstrip at a U.S. military base in Eastern Africa. This surprising sight sparked a whirlwind of speculation and curiosity. The appearance of the aircraft led to a flurry of rumors, especially since military officials refused to share any details. Their silence only made people more curious and eager for answers. When asked for clarification, a NASA official from the WB-57 High-Altitude Research Program offered no specifics. They simply said that the aircraft works with various clients from the government, industry, and research fields. The secrecy surrounding the aircraft has only deepened the mystery, leaving everyone wondering what's really happening in the skies above South Africa. Number 3. Weird black cube in the sun. Since 1955, NASA's Solar and Heliospheric Observatory has been sending back incredible images of the sun. In 2011, SOHO captured a truly strange sight, a huge cube-like object 10 times the size of Earth, floating near the sun. NASA quickly dismissed the sighting, saying it was just a glitch caused by transmission problems between SOHO and Earth. While some people accept this explanation, many are fascinated by the idea of a giant alien cube hiding near the sun. Number 2. Anomaly on Mars. Recently, something strange appeared at the far edge of Mars, where it's very dark. Thread-like shadows seemed to swirl across the planet's surface, hinting at a massive storm. But there was a problem. Storms don't look like this from space. When the images were shared online, even NASA's scientists were intrigued. The strange sight left NASA scientists nearly speechless. The discovery sparked lively debates among scientists. Many suggested that the strange shadows might be an aurora similar to what we see on Earth. However, there's one big issue with this idea. An aurora has never been seen 240 kilometers above Mars's surface. Number 1. The Black Knight Satellite. In December 1998, NASA's Space Shuttle mission was supposed to be a major event. It was a rescue mission and marked the start of building the International Space Station. But something even more surprising happened. As the astronauts were working, they saw something incredible: the mysterious Black Knight satellite. Some people believe this strange object, thought to be an alien probe, has been orbiting Earth for 13,000 years, keeping an eye on us. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like our video, leave comments, and subscribe. Also, click on the video showing on your screen to watch another of our interesting videos. See you there.